I've been using the OnePlus Watch 2 for the past 60 days and I have some thoughts. Let's go ahead and get started. This video was sponsored by Bitdefender. Data breaches and cyber attacks happen all the time. That's why it's super important that you safeguard your devices with a service like Bitdefender's Total Security. Bitdefender Total Security keeps you safe from viruses, malware, ransomware, and even protects against microphone monitoring, webcam intrusion, and other web trackers. With versatile compatibility for Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android, Bitdefender has all of your devices covered. And I really love how Bitdefender works in the background, blocking access to harmful websites and preventing attacks. Bitdefender doesn't hamper performance and recognizes when you're gaming or watching a movie or even when you're working and won't bother you with unnecessary requests. Bitdefender Total Security protects up to 5 devices with the same license, keeping all of your devices safe and protected. Safeguard your data and devices by heading to the link in the description below. I do want to focus for a bit on the design and especially the durability of this watch. So this definitely has a flagship design. It comes in 2 colors, radiant steel and black steel. I have the radiant steel with the green watch band. I love this full circle design. It does have an action button and a crown button, which are both incredibly useful for navigating around the watch. And I like the fact that they don't sit flush with the circle, but actually extend out a little bit. I think that helps with accidental pushes. The watch band looks great, but also holds up to an active lifestyle. I really like the traditional metal buckle that they have here on this strap. When it comes to the durability, one thing that really stands out about this watch is that sapphire display. There are many other smartwatches out there that have a sapphire display, but on those other watches, I would find scratches on the watch face without really knowing how they got there. So I can be a little rough on my watches. In particular, if I'm walking by a countertop, a lot of times this will knock into the countertop, or I find myself accidentally brushing up against brick walls and things like that. But over the past 60 days, there's not been one scratch on my watch. And there were plenty of instances where I thought to myself, okay, so that was a pretty big bump. Surely there's going to be a scratch. When I look down, no scratches on the watch. This watch is IP68 water resistant. Not only is it going to hold up during a rainstorm or something like that, but I've been swimming with this watch several times over the past month. My family and I recently went on a cruise to the Caribbean. I swam with stingrays for over an hour in Grand Cayman, and then we also had a beach day in Jamaica where we were in the water for several hours. And even in salt water, I didn't have any issues with this watch. When it comes to battery life, this watch by far has the best battery life out of any smartwatch that I've ever used. And I've used tons of different smartwatches. That's partly due to the 500 milliamp hour battery that's included. That's a pretty big battery for a smartwatch, but it's also due to the fact that it uses 2 OSs and 2 different processors. You've got OnePlus's own RTOS and also Google's Wear OS. The Google Wear OS powers all of your Google applications, notifications, and things like that, while the RTOS is powering, your fitness tracker, your time, your date, and things of that nature. And all of these are operated on 2 separate processors, so I think some of those lower end or less aggressive functions powered by the RTOS can just simply sip on the battery, and then it really kicks into hyperdrive when it actually needs performance. Overall, I've been able to get about 4 days of battery life on this watch with the always on display turned off, and about 2.5 to 3 days of battery life when the always on display is turned on. With a 7.5 watt VOOC fast charging, I've not had to charge this overnight ever. So you get 0 to 100% charging in about an hour. You get a full day's use of charging in just 10 minutes. So normally what happens is on like the 4th day when I'm running out of battery, when it's time to get ready for bed, I'm gonna go take my shower, brush my teeth, maybe I'm gonna eat dinner with the family. That's when I put the watch on the charger, and within an hour it's fully charged. With the incredible battery life and the super fast charging, this is by far the most convenient smartwatch that I've ever used, and I've never had to go an entire night without the smartwatch. Primarily, I use the Watch 2 as a fitness tracker, and this does an incredible job at tracking fitness From the action button, I have a whole list of different activities that this can individually track, which I'm more of a walker and not so much a runner. Most smartwatches give you that option to track a run, which is what I would usually do. But here I've got indoor and outdoor walking right there at the top of my list. So the convenience of just being able to launch that, get my workout started, and then press and hold to stop so I'm not accidentally stopping my workout. I really love that. The dual frequency GPS also actively tracks my route and can show me the mileage that I've walked on a particular walk. And I think it does a great job of being accurate with the distance tracking. It does everything else really well, like keeping track of the date and time and weather, and it also does a great job of keeping me notified. So whereas other Wear OS smartwatches that I've used in the past fail to give me all of my notifications, primarily Gmail, which is really weird because I've had issues receiving Gmail notifications on more than one Wear OS device. I always get my notifications from any application that I have those turned on the smartwatch. It has been mentioned in other reviews, but I have noticed that when the notification comes through on my cell phone, the notification lags about a second on the Watch 2. Actually, while I was editing this video, an update came through for the Watch, and now my notifications are instant. So I don't know if that was one of the bug fixes, but notifications come through as soon as I get them on my phone. I get them on my watch as well. The OnePlus Watch 2 has definitely exceeded my expectations over the past couple of months, and it has become my favorite smartwatch. I'll be sure to include links in the description of where you can find out more information about the OnePlus Watch 2, where you can pick one up for yourself. That about wraps it up for this video. Thanks guys for watching. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one.